last week, and if there's a motion to adopt those, we'll do so.
There wasn't much we discussed. Motion approved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes are adopted. Item number 1, discussion of Snow Hinton Park Improvement Project funding. In a rare reversal of roles, I suspect the Finance Committee is actually going to be simpler than the Projects Committee on this. Who wants to brief? We've got a staff
Miracles happen.
Randy, we have a request from one of the council members to read something into the record. Would you like to go ahead and do that, please?
So Counselor Howard is not able to attend today's meeting, so she asked that the following statement be read into the minutes. She says, I agree with the mayor's recommendation concerning the FY 2022 bond issue. The mayor has recommended that we leave the contingency balance to address issues during the construction of the Benjamin Barnes YMCA. Please be reminded that my constituents are aware of the agreement that was made on January 12, 2021. This agreement reads as follows. This is paragraph number 4. That as additional consideration for the acquisition, the city will agree to enter into a non-binding MOU with the YMCA to discuss a potential public/private partnership that will explore the possibility and feasibility of constructing a new Benjamin Barnes YMCA branch in conjunction with Project Unity, with a report due on said discussions no later than May 31st, 2021. Provided, however, that until such time that a new Benjamin Barnes branch YMCA is under construction with 75% completion, the YMCA agrees that there will be no physical additions to the downtown YMCA. A copy of this resolution will be attached, or is attached to the January 12, 2021 agenda and is currently posted on our website.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I will appreciate you. And so you're posting that non-binding resolution, or it's already in the website?
Yes, sir.
I will state for the record also, there was no anticipated discussion of using Benjamin Barnes surplus funds to finance the Snow Hinton Park. And I don't think that will come up today. And in fact, the staff recommendation that we are going to be discussing, I think, was crafted to ensure that that didn't happen. So, Mayor, Becky, who wants to lead off?
I'm going to lead off and just walk you through the memorandum that was part of your packet that was sent to the council. Right now, based off the decision of the Projects Committee, the delta that we're looking at with this project is $2.8 million. Last week, we reviewed with the Finance Committee that we anticipate for fiscal 23 interest income of $165,000. For fiscal 24, interest income of $600,000. We referenced there was $2 million available in the 2022A bond issue, and a recommendation that the $500,000 professional service fees could be absorbed that's currently in the Elevate budget within the River District Fund. Mm-hmm. We also, this past week, met with our engineering staff to get an update on the timeline of the University Boulevard project. In the fiscal 24, there was $2 million budgeted for that in cash. It appears that the cash dollars will not be needed until fiscal 26. As you recall, there is $9 million in bond proceeds that are currently coming out of the 2022A that will be sufficient to cover any costs related to the University Boulevard, both on the east and west portions of the project. So by moving that allocation out until 2026 generates $2 million in the Elevate Fund. So knowing all that, our recommendation is to, number one, and by the way, this would generate $3.1 million, which would provide some cushion in case of something unexpected were to come about with this project. Align the University Boulevard funding with the updated construction schedule. 2, increase Snow Hinton Park by $2 million in the fiscal 24 Elevate budget. 3, transfer the Savings Center design cost in fiscal 24 to the River District Fund. And 4, increase the interest income in fiscal 24 by $600,000. And as Ms. Howard stated, and as in my memo, we would recommend leaving the 22A bond issue alone at this time. Benjamin Barnes too. We need to get that project moving and going, and then there will be an appropriate time to evaluate that. Plus, I know that Ms. Howard has some items she wants to discuss with you, so I think that is appropriate.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question? Mr.
Sure,
Chairman?
absolutely.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, on the interest income of the 600,000, was that money in the budget that we passed, or is this something that we see there? I mean, where's that coming from?
We did not have that amount in the fiscal '24 budget. We have been pleasantly surprised this year by the interest income amounts we're beginning to see. And so frankly, when I presented my budget to the council, we didn't include that. And that's why you see the 123 as what we anticipate now closing on 20.
The 165?
The one
Yeah, the 165.
left on last year's budget.
Yeah, and so we think we can now safely say interest income, probably for 15 years, we've really never taken a look at interest income because it just doesn't generate a whole lot. So when the finance team brought that as a potential revenue source, we felt it was warranted, and it's a very safe, conservative estimate. Ms. Sheet, do you want to add to that?
No, I'll just say, so it's about, I think the estimate, right now we have a 4.5% interest rate in Elevate. That estimate is based on a 4.25% rate, just to be conservative.
So what principal amount is sitting around earning that?
I think the
It's gonna have to be over 12 million.
yes, sir, I think it was around 13-14 million is the balance that was based off of.
And is that, who keeps eyes on that? Is it Elevate? Is it y'all?
That was our
Who's
treasury team. That was
the treasury team?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're about to, we did this back in March of last year with the capital budgets. Every time we prepare capital budgets, we align construction schedules with funding cycles. We're going to start that even earlier this year, now that we're getting some clear scheduling in place with some of these projects. And so I would imagine this will be some opportunities for us moving forward within the Elevate Fund. Many of these projects are not meeting the timetable that we were hoping for initially, which does have the net effect of freeing up dollars. So that is one of the positive things. And our cash flow looks really, really good at this point within the Elevate Fund. And we've got to update our schedule to finalize that. The big issue we got coming out of Elevate, and I don't mean to throw a curveball at you, is going to be the airport terminal and the timing of the airport terminal and the timing of the savings center. Being, what fiscal year will those first payments fall? Will they fall in fiscal 25 or fiscal 26? So that's probably
Right
some
now,
of the
what do you
major
think?
decisions.
26,
Right now, 25.
25? Later, fall of 25?
No. Right now, the construction schedule has us probably winter of 25. But the thing we're trying to judge is this. The state coming with us with 25 million in capital, 2.6 million in operating is a blessing. But it means it slows design down to make certain that we design exactly what the state needs to operate a regional STEM hub. So that's going to naturally slow down the process. If that does, it might actually set up a fiscal 26 letting instead of a fiscal 25. So we hope in the next couple of months to get that schedule.
Which, if that happens, we put more cash in the pot.
Yeah.
But, or we won't have to spend it till later.
That's correct.
So, and a week or two ago, we passed that contribution and donation letter that was gonna notify us by 1 October of what funds were coming for there. Did we get that? Do we have it?
Will you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. From the Saban Center Foundation, we passed in council a donation and contribution agreement. Tom, is that
Oh,
Earth Tom? Did we get that, and how much is coming in from that?
I hate to tell you this, but I do not know that answer. because
Okay.
I did
I
not-
don't think the agreement has been executed.
All right,
I
again,
don't-
we can set that aside for now, but as
We We have exceeded, I'm trying not to get in trouble with Ms. Lepish and the work that her and Ms. Terry have been doing. We have exceeded our goal of 10 million
Right.
over 10 years.
Thank you for your help.
Considerably exceeded.
You will.
And so those dollars will be plugged in over a 10-year cycle. In fact, it began in fiscal 23, so this past year. So those dollars are then held in escrow and will be applied to the project itself.
But never mind, I'm not gonna make this a donation and contribution topic. This one is Snow Hinton Park.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, we've got 600 grand of interest income we're projecting off Elevate balances. Is that what that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and 165 from last year.
Yes, sir.
So there's $750,000. We're taking 2 million from the university. Is it 2 million University Boulevard project that we're not going to need, that we haven't budgeted? So there's 2.75, and then the Saban Center design cost. Who wants to brief us on how that
I
works?
can brief you on that. We had 500,000 in our budget that we presented to the city council for fiscal 24 to continue the design costs related to the Saban Center. And we've been budgeting that out. We budgeted 2.1 million in 23, 500,000 in 24, and we're budgeting 2.8 in 25. When we looked at the River District Fund, which was established by the council, and that was authorized recently, we anticipate in fiscal 24 a surplus. The River District Fund, just as a reminder, that is the fund that is responsible for operational subsidies and repair and maintenance and any professional services for the amphitheater, the river market, the Saban Center, and the event center. Its funding consists of the 15%, or consists of funding from the 15% Elevate Operations and Maintenance Fund, 2% of the lodging tax, and any balance carryover from the previous year. So from that fund, we anticipate in fiscal 24 a surplus revenue or revenues over expenditures of 3.5 million, which is why we feel we can safely move that $500,000 into the RDF.
Okay. Gentlemen, any
Mr.
questions,
Chairman,
comments? Yeah.
In order for us to accept the bid based on what we did in projects, the corresponding financial end of that is what we're doing right here. I understand that, but whatever changes are made or alternatives are accepted or not accepted or whatever, all of that will flow back through committee once that kind of gets squared away, because we do need to pass what mirrors what happened in projects, correct?
Yeah, I think,
Initially.
so what's identified here is 3.1 million. My beer math says that's probably a little over even the outside of what we agreed to start with in projects, all right? So how I would, assuming, well, I think this is fixing to pass right on through, but I think we craft the wording to say, you know, the approved up to 3.1 million to be directed towards the Snow Hinton Park project. Does that make sense to everybody? I don't think we'll use it all. And again, if we
But the actual-
deactivate certain of those
It'll come back to
alternates
us.
in projects,
Yeah.
that money, where does it go back to, Becky?
What's the funding that we already have?
We can, sorry.
Right.
It really just depends on how council wants to allocate it out. We can come back with a budget revision for anything, once the change order comes through, and allocate it back to a contingency balance or.
So we'll see it, a change order, it comes in here as a deductive, that's where we see it, right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Looking at this, we talked about in the previous committee, was it 9 point, let's see, the $5 million Elevate, the 3.1, was it for the other 4 million
For what,
for this project?
For the Snow Hinton Park?
Yes,
I
sir.
think it was 5 plus 4.
2.8, wasn't it? Isn't that what we talked about, Walt?
And it's all, most of that funding is from the 2022 A bond issue, which is repaid for through the Elevate Fund.
Right.
Mr. Wilson, I think it was 5
Yes, sir.
plus 4 minus 1.3, and
Plus
then
another
whatever the bid
2,
is
or
up.
whatever, right? Whatever.
Plus another 2, or did
No,
or
well, we were,
deducting another
it
2?
ends up being that you, I think it was 2.8 to get to the number, wasn't it, Walt? What was that number? It wasn't
2.8.
2.8 to get back to that number.
2.8.
Matthew, when you added them and then subtracted the money, because we paid for that road
Right.
partnership, we paid for that. So you take that out and then you add back.
Right. So I guess what I'm asking is, with these numbers that have been presented to us currently, will these numbers take us where we needed to be?
I think
I
they
think it's
take us there
more
with
than
a
we
little
need.
That's what I mean.
over,
There's a cushion.
knowing that over the next, certainly month or two, we're probably gonna bring it down as projects massages some of these alternates.
And then we'll do the corresponding adjustment on the financial side.
If all goes well, this will be well over what you would
What we
need.
need.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to offer a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Motion is approved. Funding is authorized. Anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Lanier, I'd have you note, we just, got $10.2 million out the door, and, all in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye.